Pagod ka na ba? Yung hindi lang sa trabaho, kundi sa lahat. Sa buhay, basically. This episode, we're gonna be talking about kahit na pagod. Things that we experience in relation to tiredness.
Hi everyone and welcome to Kahit Na, the podcast where we talk about showing up, holding on, and rising again. Kahit na pagod na, kahit na nasasaktan na, kahit na walang kasiguraduhan, I'm Jock, and together, let's embrace the stories that prove we can still keep going even if life says we shouldn't.
So, paano ba natin masasabi or madedefine yung pagod? And para sa akin, may iba-ibang types of pagod kasi na na-experience yung isang tao. And it's important for us to understand yung differences nila para at least alam din natin kung ano yung pwede natin gawin para ma-deal with ito. I think the first and the most common type of pagod is yung physical na pagod. Ito yung pagko-commute papunta at pauwi, yung pag-grocery, yung paglilinis ng bahay, pagbubuhat ng groceries, paglilinis ng sasakyan ng bahay, pagtutupi, paglalaba. Lahat ng konektado sa physical activities can trigger physical tiredness. And I'm not saying this is the easiest, pero ito yung kahit papano pwedeng madaan sa tulog. Next is the mental tiredness. Ito yung constant na pag-iisip. Ito yung hindi nababakante yung utak mo. The moment you wake up, sobrang dami ng bagay na nasa utak mo. Probably those are about the bills, yung mga kailangan mong gawin or yung hindi mo nagawa o yung mga problema mo na currently hinaharap mo or yung problema mo in the past na hindi mo pa nasosolusyonan. Basically, lahat ng bagay na nandyan sa loob ng pag-iisip mo can impact and lead you to mental exhaustion. And then there's the other one, which is yung emotional exhaustion. It's more of like our relationship with other people, our connection with other people. Ito yung sinasabi na nila sa line na pagod na pagod na pagod na pagod na akong intindihin ka, pagod na akong masaktan, umasa, everything in between that is connected to our emotions. That is also a valid type of tiredness. And pag pinagsama-sama mo lahat ng yon, siguro yun yung sinasabi nila na pagod na ako sa buhay or pagod na akong mabuhay dahil ang daming kailangan isipin, ang daming kailangan problemahin. And I understand. I think lahat ng tao dadaan sa pagkakataong yon na masasabi nilang hindi na nila kaya. Masasabi nilang sana wag na lang akong gumising sa susunod na araw dahil pagod na ako. I hear you. Kung titignan mo din kasi yung nangyayari sa atin ngayon, on a larger scale, sa buong mundo, may mga bansa na nag-aaway-away. And ang ibang tao, isa ito sa iniisip nila. Isa ito sa nakaka-bother sa araw-araw nilang pamumuhay. Especially yung mga seafarers natin. Tapos, if ililiit natin yung scale naman sa bansa, Philippines, I mean, we are in a rainy season and we have seen a lot of flooding na nangyayari sa buong Pilipinas. And it's very unfortunate na sobrang big news din ngayon kung gaano kalala ang korupsyon when it comes to our flood control projects. And I kid you not, as taxpayers, we deserve better. It is normal for us to be frustrated, to be demanding of results, of mga taong kailangan mapanagot sa kanilang mga ginagawa. And Alam ko masyado na tayong busy sa buhay ng isa't isa, pero may mga tao, including me, gets frustrated with this type of news. Now, we're done with the world, we're done with the Philippines. Now, paliitin pa natin inside your family and friends. I know marami sa atin ang humaharap sa family problem, especially probably people who are a product of broken families, people who were abandoned, maybe yung talagang mga ulila na o mga sinasaktan ng mga magulang o simply walang enough na pera para mabuhay sa araw-araw. Imagine the level of things that you have to go through. Normal lang talaga na mapagod. This is me giving you the validation that it is okay to feel tired. Even students in schools. I know there are a lots of requirements, exams, quizzes, recitations na kailangan mong paghandaan, ipasa. Or even, some students would like to have the perfect score because they are academically competitive, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, we have to make sure that we know how to filter, 'di ba? Sa sobrang daming nangyayari sa mundo, sobrang normal na mapagod tayo. Lalo na pag nandito tayo sa after nung friends and family is actually to yourself. You also have a battle within you, and I think ito yung isa sa pinakamahirap ma-filter because it is you versus you. Imagine that you are trying to achieve a lot of great things and wala naman masama for you to achieve or for you to want to achieve great things. However, kailangan mo kasing kumilos para makuha yon. And pag hindi mo alam kung paano i-manage lahat ng kailangan gawin, mapapagod ka. At pag umabot ka sa point na pagod ka na, madalas kasi nagsha-shutdown ng isang tao. So now, I think this episode, I also wanna help everyone to maybe tulungan natin yung ibang tao na i-guide sila kasi hindi naman kasi lahat kayang magsabi na pagod na sila. Hindi naman lahat verbal for them to ask for help, 'di ba? So, maybe let's try to find ways or pag-usapan din natin kung paano ba natin malalaman kung yung isang tao is pagod na or nag-uumpisa ng mapagod. Ang sabi nila, first daw is yung loss of motivation. Yung dati nakikita mo yung sarili mo or yung ibang tao na ganadong-ganado ka, may energy ka the moment you wake up, you're full of drive, you're full of power. Tapos all of a sudden, you see yourself or you see the other person na bigla siyang walang motivation. Bigla na lang walang energy to do things, wala ka ng gana to excel, to be good at what you're doing. Tapos, even the smallest task, parang hindi mo sila kayang gawin. Wala kang drive to do anything. Or even to the point na may pinapagawa lang sa yung simple, tapos you felt overwhelmed easily. That is a sign of you being tired, is losing your motivation. Tapos may mga tao rin na they are emotionally numb. Yung wala na silang reaction sa mga bagay-bagay. Hindi na sila na-excite, hindi na sila ganun sumasaya, hindi na sila ganun natatakot. Like basically wala. Parang ang term nila is nonchalant. And I'm sure there is a portion of people who are nonchalant, who are simply tired of life. Ayaw na nilang magpakita or mag-exert ng effort to show their reaction. Like, may isang empleyado na sinabihan na, okay, you're fired. And then instead of begging for their job, shouting, whatever, they just simply say, okay, bye, pack my things and leave. And I know there is also a certain level of emotional intelligence then for you not to react. But emotional numbness is like kahit pilitin mong may maramdaman, wala kang maramdaman. I think a lot of people can relate to this if like, for example, paulit-ulit kang sinasaktan ng taong mahal mo, your special someone, paulit-ulit ka nang dinidisappoint, paulit-ulit ka niyang binibetray. And then you would reach a point that you just don't feel anything anymore. And that is what you call emotional numbness. A complete opposite to that naman is yung sobrang ikli ng pasensya mo na napakadali mong mairita. This could also be a sign of exhaustion or tiredness. Yung napakasimpleng bagay lang tapos bigla kang magsisigaw-sigaw. I read one post on Facebook before yung like nagbe-breakfast sila ng family nila and then natabig ng bunsong anak nila yung coffee tas tumapon sa father and then the father started shouting, ang dami niyang sinabing masasakit na words and he did not say goodbye to the kids, pumunta na lang siya sa work. I'm not saying that it's okay to react that way because we have to make sure we control our outburst, but there is a high chance that this person is so tired of their job, of everything that is going on in their head. Kaya, simpleng trigger lang, sumasabog sila. Simpleng push lang, nagagalit sila. And I can say that I myself is a very good example of this type of sign pag masyado akong maraming iniisip and I'm so near to the point of literally being exhausted or burnt out. So, yeah, yung pagiging constant irritability or yung pagkaroon ng short temper is a sign for you to check on someone. If you have a friend who is suddenly acting like that from a very patient person to that, they're probably about to reach their limit. At I think it's best to, just check on them. While there are other set of people naman na they choose to be distant. Lumalayo sila. Maybe this is you doing it pag pagod ka na ayaw mo siguro maging burden sa ibang tao, ayaw mong maging problem or magbigay pa ng ibang problema sa ibang tao or simply you're not okay sharing about your feelings. And that is totally fine. Withdrawal from others is a sign of you starting to feel tired or you are already tired of everything that is going on. You have to listen to this signal because the moment you step back, it's harder for people to reach out to you. It's harder for people to check up on you. And I know some of you use this way para siguro makapag-recover sila. But make sure you just take enough time. Make yourself somehow available. Pag hindi mo kayang tulungan na yung sarili mo, maybe you start seeking help from other people. Because withdrawing yourself from others may be fine at first. But eventually, it can be a trap na mahihirapan ka ng lumabas doon. So maybe, take note of this na if meron kang kaibigan or ka-work na who's very constant pag inaya mo, lagi lang silang, let's go, G ako dyan. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, they are distant na ayaw na nilang sumasama. They're very unavailable all the time. It's time to check on them. They are probably starting to feel the exhaustion in life. Now, the other sign naman is probably one of the most subtle. Ito yung hindi ganun kadaling mapansin kasi they are running in autopilot. Kumbaga, ginagawa na lang nila lahat ng kailangan gawin. without involving any emotion, any excitement, any motivation. Like, literal na gagawin na lang nila. I think ito yung majority of people who specially goes to office to work. Like, pagising nila, maliligo, magbibihes, drive or commute to work pagdating sa trabaho, work, lunch break, work, uwi, tulog. Like, everything for them is a routine without looking forward to other things. Na they feel like they are just a machine who has to function daily, do their task, and nothing else. Medyo mahirap ma-spot to kasi it can look like they are just focused and motivated by their job or their task. Pero you would know, if you really know the person, you would know. Kumbaga parang wala na silang motivation to strive to be better. Let's just say before, mahilig silang they work hard tapos magta-travel sila, and then suddenly they just work hard and not do the things that they enjoy all of a sudden. So, yun. Just a recall. First, we have yung loss of motivation, emotional numbness, constant irritability, withdrawal from others, and then running on autopilot. But, of course, as much as we can, susubukan natin kasing maiwasan yun. Susubukan natin hindi tayo umabot sa ganun. Or if pinagdaanan na natin at nakapag-recover tayo, how do we avoid it? Or how do we make sure na meron tayong, or tama yung ginagawa natin para hindi tayo totally mapagod sa life? First is you have to make sure na you know how to set your boundaries. Hindi lang sa trabaho, kundi sa pamilya, sa friends, and also to the things that are not healthy for you. You have to learn how to say no. The art of saying no is a very simple yet very difficult thing to say. I watched a video last time na sabi nila, prone daw sa Filipino ang pagkakaroon ng hard time to say no kasi nga because of the history na nasakop tayo, like we feel like we have to please other people, we have to be very convenient, tayo natin mag-cause ng inconvenience sa ibang tao. But this is the time I am telling you to say no. It is okay to say no. It is okay to set boundaries. It is okay to tell them that what they did is not okay. It is okay pag sinabi mo sa kanilang, this action is something that I do not appreciate. But you just have to make sure na you deliver it nicely. Okay? Now, setting boundaries is hard. But how do you set your boundaries ba? I think first is you have to identify your boundaries before you even set them, 'di ba? Hanggang saan yung kaya mong i-tolerate, hanggang saan yung kaya mong tanggapin, at ano yung line na para sa'yo, okay, too much na to. Once you identify that, I think for me, you have to start with the people that you trust. You have to start sa mga best friends mo or sa family mo. If you're very open to your emotions, do that. Tell them about this. Be honest. Make sure you deliver it nicely. Now, for example, let's just say last time you were hanging out with your friends tapos gino-joke ka niya ng para sa'yo, it's already offensive, but for them, it's fun. Say it in a nice way that, hey, if you remember last time we hang out, you talk about my body and I find it very uncomfortable. So I hope next time wag mo na siyang sabihin because it's not something that I find funny. 'Di ba? So yan, you have to set boundaries. Learn how to set boundaries. Step 1 is to identify muna yung boundaries na gusto mong iset, and then next, i-implement mo sila little by little. But if you can do one whole set or isang bagsakan lang na i-implement mo sila, go ahead and do so. But I just have to warn you that setting boundaries means you would lose a lot of people because not everyone is willing to accept once you set your boundaries straight and clear. Got it? Okay. Next is practice rest without guilt. Ito yung problem naman sa mga workaholic. They feel like they don't deserve rest or rest is for lazy or when they rest, they feel like, oh, dapat ginagawa ko na lang to kasi nagpapahinga ako. Or like, I don't deserve to rest yet kasi wala pa ako na-achieve. You know what? Rest is very important for us to be very functional as a person. Ang dami ko naisip na metaphor, like for example yung bread, when you're baking something with yeast, di ba kailangan mo muna siyang i-rest for it to rise, or else hindi magiging maganda or hindi mo ma-achieve yung type of bread na gusto mong ma-bake. Another one, steak. After you cook the steak, you shouldn't be serving it right up front. You have to let it rest so that the heat inside that meat would still or will continue cooking, diba? So imagine the non-living things needs rest. Especially ikaw as a person. You know, if you feel like or the next time you feel guilty about taking rest, remember this. You function better when you are well rested. You function the best if you are well rested. Can you imagine yung isang construction worker, papagtrabahuhin mo siya nang wala siyang tulog at galing siya sa kabilang project niya? Do you think kaya niyang mag-function? Or give him enough time to rest and maybe give him the proper meal. I am 100% sure that he would do a better job. So this is me telling you that you deserve some rest. Go ahead and enjoy it. Meron tayong kanya-kanyang way on how we can define rest. For me, I like to spend time by myself or maybe travel alone or maybe eat the food that I want. May kanya-kanya tayong way to rest our body. But make sure you identify what type of rest you enjoy or you need and then go ahead and do so without feeling guilty. Next is, ito yung underrated things. Do small joyful things daily. Try mong gumawa ng mga bagay na nagpapasaya sa'yo. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be big. For example, like, if your comfort food is Jollibee, maybe, you know, mag-drive-thru ka or bumili ka after mong magtrabaho, treat yourself with some very simple, nice food. I am telling you, that works like a gem. It may not remove everything, pero at that moment, you would feel the satisfaction of feeling happy because you treated yourself with some good food. But, okay, there are other things. Hindi lang naman good food yan. Maybe a cup of coffee. This time, a lot of people use coffee as they say, free therapy. And I cannot blame them for that. If that is something that would keeps you motivated, keeps you going, magre-recover ka from a very stressful day at work, go ahead and do so. Just make sure you drink cup of coffee moderately, ha? There are other things then. You can also take a walk, journal. That's something that I do. Some people, they write music or they listen to music. Or some people, they do the rituals that they do. Maybe you can also just simply call your best friends, your family, just tell them about your day. You don't have to talk about your problem, but again, do simple things that spark joy to your heart. Another one is maybe try to stay connected pero not too connected. Kumbaga, do not isolate yourself when you feel like things are getting a little bit difficult na. Wag mo sanang gawing reflexes yung magsi-step back ka and isolate yourself and confine yourself in your room. As much as possible, have a lifeline of people. Maybe yun nga, your best friend, your sister, your brother, your parents, anyone, or maybe your pet. um, anyone that you can still maintain a connection despite of having a lot of challenges that you face sa buhay mo. Please, please, please make sure you do that. And then next naman is check in with yourself regularly. This is something that not a lot of people realize that it is necessary. Alam nyo guys, whenever you listen to yourself more, the more na mas magkakaroon kayo ng magandang relationship. It's very, kumbaga, take yourself as like another person. 'Di ba? For example, best friend mo. 'Di ba lagi mong kinakausap yung best friend mo because you want to make sure that they're okay, you want to make sure that they're doing fine, hindi sila nasa-stress, hindi sila depressed, hindi sila frustrated because you care about them and you have good relationship with them, 'di ba? So now, you have to look at yourself as someone that you need a good relationship with. And if meron kang good relationship with yourself, then it is easy for you to listen to yourself, to check in with yourself, 'di ba? Maybe if on your commute home while listening to music habang nakasakay ka sa jeep or while you're driving home, take that time to ask yourself, how are you? Okay lang ba ako? Ano ba yung mga bagay na nagpapagulo sa akin, nagpapastress sa akin? Ano yung pwede natin gawin? Or magpahinga muna tayo, ganyan. Kausapin mo yung sarili mo. Like, talk to yourself as if you're talking to your best friend. Like, how would you talk to your best friend if they are stressed? That should be the way nakakausapin mo yung sarili mo pag pagod ka, pag stress ka, 'di ba? Or simply reflect on things that are draining you, 'di ba? Ngayon, pag na-realize mo na napagod ka, and maybe check on the things that are exhausting you, tapos lista mo sila. Now, for me, what I do is, after ko silang ilista, I divide them into two groups. First group is, are these things, kaya ko ba silang makontrol? If hindi ko sila kaya makontrol, then I have to let go of them. And I know it's easier said than done, but it is a good practice for you to preserve your peace. If hindi mo na sila kayang i-control, then let go of them. Next is the things that I can control. After ko silang ma-identify, then I rank them sa urgency nila and I try to deal with them one by one. As much as possible, I do not want to deal with them at the same time kasi mas nakakapagod yun. Tas feeling mo wala kang natatapos. I keep myself motivated by doing one task at a time kasi I get the satisfaction of crossing one item every time I finish them. Right? So, again, I think I was able to share already yung 5 ways for us to deal or avoid yung exhaustion or tiredness, which is setting boundaries, practicing rest without guilt, doing something joyful or fun. It doesn't have to be big again. Tapos you staying connected to people. Also, you have to check with yourself regularly. Okay? Now, as a reflection, you know what? Tiredness kasi or pagiging pagod is part of life. It is something that is inevitable. Hindi na natin talaga siya maiiwasan completely kasi part siya ng life. But the good news about this is whenever we feel tired, for me, para sa akin, ang tiredness is a sign that you are moving. You are doing better than yesterday. You are making progress. And progress, regardless if it is big or small, it is still a progress, 'di ba? Hindi ka naman napapagod for nothing. I am so sure. Hindi mo sasayangin yung oras mo for you to do things that is not gonna impact you, tama? So, the next time that you are feeling tired, maybe instead of giving up, maybe remember why you started doing this. Like, whenever you feel like quitting your job, remember why you applied for this job in the first place. Now, if you see that reason relevant, then maybe it's a reason for you to stay. But if you don't see that reason relevant anymore, maybe it's time for you to move on, right? But please do not be the person who just complain and do nothing. Please do not be the person who sulk about being tired pero walang ibang ginagawa kundi magreklamo lang, 'di ba? You have to find ways on how to make your life better. And do not avoid tiredness because it is part of life. It is a good sign once again that you are doing better. So once again, kahit na pagod na pagod na pagod na pagod na pagod ka na, huwag kang susuko because you are doing better than yesterday.